new patterns.
And we are live.
Hi everybody, can you hear me? Okay. After that first day of technical difficulty, I'm always worried that you can't hear me whenever we get started. It's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. We got a lot of fun things going on today. We'll give you a couple of minutes to join us and then we will get started. I want to thank everyone for their comments and their compliments, I guess I could say, because everybody's really enjoying the virtual quilt shows that we've been doing. If you have anything that you would specifically like to see, I hope you'll just jot us a note about that too, because we are planning our week out. And I jokingly said the other day, there's more at 4. So 4 o'clock Central Time, Monday through Thursday, and maybe a little bonus on Friday if we don't completely give out by that point. We are having a good time. So we've got a lot of new things for you today that we're going to share. And to start with, many of you know that we published the 3-yard quilt books, and I just want to run through this real quick with you. We will publish the books, and the books usually have brand new patterns that have never been published before. The Easy Peasy book came out a couple of years ago, and after it's been out for a couple of years, then we will come out with the small patterns. But when they're new to the book, they have your instructions for the lap, the twin, or the king-queen. The small patterns do not have that instruction. So your good deal is the book. You get 8 patterns. They're only $15.99 for the books. Or you can quite often get a book free when you order 3 quilt kits. So after a couple of years, we bring out the pattern in individual form. And it is time now to bring out some of the patterns from Easy Peasy. So these are the first time out. These are patterns that were in the Easy Peasy book, and now there is an individual patterns. So this one's called Easy Street. We'll let John get a good close shot of that. Do I have a glare?
There we go.
All right. And so Easy Peasy, it can be one of your choices as a free pattern when you buy your quilt kit, and you just put the name in the comments section of the order when you want to let us know which pattern you want. So that's Easy Street. Another one from that book is called Dash. Dash is, it's actually one of my favorites. I love it. It has 2 big blocks and some little blocks, but it just looks really cool if you want to show off some fabric. It's a great way to showcase your prints. And then this one's called Attraction. Attraction was the cover of Easy Peasy, and now it can be one of your choices as an individual pattern when you buy a quilt kit. And then next is Tic Tac. This is a great quilt with 10-inch blocks. So you can, if you have 2 big prints that you want to show off, this is perfect. And I love this little fabric. This is a Quilting Treasures fabric. I believe it's really sweet. And so it shows off 2 big prints with a sashing. And then the last one that we've brought out from Easy Peasy is called Skip to My Lou. And this one is strip pieced and then sashed, so it goes together really, really fast. And I believe those are 4-inch. They're either 4 or 5-inch squares. I'm sorry, I forgot to look before I talked to you about it. So those are the new ones from Easy Peasy. Now we also have Modern Views. Modern Views is a book that came out before Easy Peasy, but I had never brought out Jacob's Ladder. And not long ago someone said, when are you going to bring out Jacob's Ladder as an individual pattern? And we just so happened we were working on it at the time. So Jacob's Ladder is also a new individual pattern. It came from the Modern Views book. All right. So those are some things that I wanted to share with you. Today we're going to talk about Patriotic and Christmas. And so I want to share with you some different things. Now I have 4 quilts here that I want to show you. These quilts, these fabrics are not available. So don't fall in love with the fabric because the fabric is not available. But I wanted you to see some of the ways that we've made patriotic quilts. If you're making patterns for, or quilts for Quilts of Valor, one of the things is that they have a minimum size requirement, and I believe it's 55 by 65 is the minimum, and the average that they like is more like 55 by 70, I believe. So did I write that down? No, I didn't write that down. But my patterns, my patterns are primarily 45 by 60, so they don't meet the requirement. But a lot of people say they just add a border. And I wanted to let you know that if you purchase 1 yard of fabric extra, so you have your 3-yard quilt, and you add 1 yard of fabric, you can put a 5-inch border, which would increase it by 10 inches wider and 10 inches longer, and then you're going to be within their desired size. So keep that in mind. You can do a border with a half yard quilt fabric. You can do a 2-inch border, but it doesn't quite make it stretch long enough to be for the Quilts of Valor. So these patterns are great. This one is 46 by 62, and so if you were going to make it 55 by 70, that 1 inch would just about make it for you. This one, whoops, I'm sorry, I showed you the wrong pattern. Okay, this one is the Byzantine door. So I'll show you that other one again in just a minute because I have information about it. This one is the Byzantine door, and
It's finished size?
the finished size on that is 46 by 61. Again, if you added a 10-inch border, 5-inch on each side, then you would have something that's big enough for that desired size. Now this is the Byzantine door made up, and I like this one because it really does show off your larger prints, and it's just a nice size quilt and super, super easy to make. So this one is Byzantine door. Now another one that I like, and I like doing this. If you've not ever done it before, you might think about it, because a lot of times your solid colored fabrics are readily available, and I like to use what I call tonal fabrics, or kind of a texture look. And if you'll come over here and look closely at this, these are matching prints, and each one of the prints is the same design with a little swirl in there, but we have the cream, the blue, and the red. And this one is called Illusions. It's 42 by 57. So this one you would probably need 1.5 yards to make an extra big border for that one to meet the requirements of the Quilts of Valor.
Or get 2 kits and make a twin.
That's right. You can get 2 kits and make a twin. And they make a really nice size, more like, most of the time they're about 65 by 80. Okay, here's Illusion. And that one's made up with just your tonal color fabrics. And you know, those are nice too, because you never know what someone's decor might be. So a red, white, and blue, or the country colors with the little cream, looks really good in this particular pattern. So that one's called Illusions. And this is Illusions again, but it's made with just a little bit more pattern to it. This one has a red and white polka dot. I just love seeing how a pattern will change just by changing the colors of the fabric. So this is a nice one. Same exact pattern, Illusions, but just done with a little bit different print. All right. Now the last one that I want to show you, again, we don't have the pattern, the fabrics available, but this one is called Strip Happy, and this is a free pattern on our charity quilt site.
FreeCaringQuiltPatterns.com.
And I have that written over here if you want to flash. So this one's called Strip Happy. Here is the pattern. That's the one I accidentally picked up first and showed you, but this one is the Strip Happy pattern. But you can download this free if you go to our caringquiltpatterns.com, freecaringquiltpatterns.com. And we have several different patterns there, but this one is Strip Happy, and it is available for a free download. If you're working on charity quilts, I hope you'll go over and visit that site. So this one is called Strip Happy. And this measurement is 46 by 62. So this one would work really well by adding a 5-inch border all the way around. It would make that minimum requirement. Okay, now what I want to do is show you some patriotic fabrics that we have available on our website. Let me put these patterns over here. This one, I think it would be great made up in the Jacob's ladder. So that's the pattern that I picked for this particular one. And it has lots and lots of stars. But I think, again, this one would just look really cool made up in Jacob's ladder. And it's a 44 by 58, so it would need about 1.5 yards in order to get your larger border to make the requirements. Okay, this one is a $26 kit. We'll just put those right over there. And here's another one. Again, these are these, sorry, that last one was called Honor. It's a $26 quilt kit. And if you like the pattern, Jacob's Ladder. Okay, this one is called Home Pride. And we're using Picture Perfect. Picture Perfect is one of my favorites. It has one bordered square and then one unbordered square, but it gives you a little bit of movement in there. And so we have these 3 fabrics. Again, they're just textured fabrics or tonal fabrics that would look really cool made up in that pattern. All right. And this one is called Patriotic Pride. Patriotic Pride. I'm recommending the 9+1. And again, as many of you know, any one of our patterns will work with any of the fabrics. But this one is called 9+1. It would give you a nice size block to show off your flag fabric. And then your 9 patch would be with these 2. Very, very nice. All right. This one is a $29 pattern kit. And again, you get to pick which pattern you want. So you just have fun doing that as well. All right. This one's called Puzzle Me This. This is an earlier pattern I designed, and I've always enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun whenever you start cutting up your fabric and doing your different designs. You could very easily put your flags in the red position, and that would make it all, it would border it with the flag fabric. This one is called Faded Glory. It's got that little bit more of a country style to it. Very nice.
Almost kind of like a tea stain.
Mm-hmm. So that one is $29 Patriotic. Then we've got a couple of quilts that are more of a it's not really, I guess you would really call it a sale fabric, because what we do is if we find a fabric on sale that we like, we pass those prices along to you. This one I'm recommending Sweet Times. This one's called Star Bright. It's a $24 pattern, and the 10-inch block would really show off with the Sweet Times. And if we want to take these off so you can see, you've got your flag fabric, you've got your stars, and you've got a red. And that one is called Star Bright with Sweet Times. Put that over there. And this one is another one. These are $24 quilt kits. This one's called Pride. And it has 3 different red, white, and blue. Nice, nice. And I picked out the So Quick for this one. It has the big 10-inch block for your stars, and that would give you a lot of movement whenever you make your 4 patch out of the other 2. Okay, so that one's called Pride, $24. Now we're going to switch over to some Christmas fabric. Now I showed this quilt earlier, but I wanted to show it again. As many of you know, when we go to the quilt shows, we do not have every single fabric made up. But after you get used to my patterns, you begin realizing that just about any fabric looks great whenever you make it with a 3-yard quilt. I think I showed this one earlier whenever I was showing last week. I showed Pretty Darn Quick book, and this is one from that book, but it's also an individual pattern, and it's called It's a Snap. It's got beautiful poinsettia fabric, and here's the fabric. I thought I would bring a whole piece of that fabric so you could really get, look how pretty that is with the faded out snowflakes. Isn't that gorgeous? And kind of a watercolor look, and then we have the little pine cones as your secondary color, and that beautiful red that just matches beautifully. So this one is called Poinsettia. We have hay fever down here in Texas. Everything is blooming, and and bless you, John.
Yeah, the cameraman is sneezing and shaking.
Okay, so this is It's a Snap pattern. It's a $26 kit, and here's your pattern.
Thanks, Fran.
Yeah, we all have chartreuse colored cars right now. The green pollen is just thick and heavy, where the oaks and the pine, and it won't be long before the pecan trees start, and we just get to breathe very thick air for several weeks.
It's the only kind of snow we get in Texas.
That's true, that's true. But I'm telling you, I like the warmer weather, so I'm okay with that. All right. This is one of my patterns that I introduced it's been just a little over a year ago. It's called Christmas Forest, and it has been such a popular pattern. The gorgeous fabric that it was made with, I bought it multiple times until I just exhausted the distributor's supply thereof, and so I can no longer get that great red, white, and blue fabric. But I did find some new fabric, and this one is called Winter Wonderland, and it's the Christmas Forest pattern, and just cute. And that'll make up really nice with the red and the green, and then the little red and green and gold circles that are in the background fabric. Cute, cute. This one is a $29 pattern, and there's just a teeny bit of metallic. So it's not overwhelming, but it is just a little bit. The golds are actually a metallic. All right. Now this one is just sweet. Let's see. I called it Cotton Candy Christmas. Doesn't that just, it just kind of says, how sweet is that? This would be really cute if you have the kind of home where you put Christmas in every room and decorate every room up. I envy people who do that. I'm always lucky when I get my Christmas tree up. But I really like this one, and that would just be precious. Precious, precious. So this one is Cotton Candy Christmas. Oh, and this is one of the new patterns from Easy Peasy, Easy Street. It has a big 10-inch block, and then it has a 5-inch block. So you would see all those cute little Christmas trees. I like this one. It's sweet. All righty. And then we also have, I guess I'm into candy lately. This one's called Candyland, and we're suggesting that you use the Pinwheel +1. This is one of my favorite Christmas patterns because I always think that the little pinwheel looks like peppermint candies. And here we have Candyland as your little candy canes with your polka dot and your red, and that's called Candyland. It's a $26 kit, and the Pinwheel +1 pattern. Now I'm going to show you another one made with Pinwheel +1. And this one, I just sent it out to the quilter. So if you look at this absolutely adorable fabric, look at this. It's the peppermint candy And it has it in the reds and the greens. And I just have a picture. It just went to our one of our testers so she can make it up for me. And that has the little candies. And then as you can see, that red and white it just looks like a little peppermint candy all swirled out there. Pretty, pretty fabric. A little white polka dot. And then we have the swirl with a little snowflake on it. This one is one that I was also suggesting that you use the Pinwheel +1 pattern for that. Now, last but not least, we have one of our bargain quilts. This one is called Oh Christmas Tree. It has these cute little Christmas trees with some decor on it, and it says Christmas trees all over it. And it has the cream and the red, white, and cream, the red, green, and cream, and then the green fabric. This one is $24. Let me unwrap that so you can see it a little bit closer.
And Fran just made a great suggestion, the Candyland. Either one of these would be great if you'd add some chenille to it.
Oh, yeah. That would be cute. And we have the multicolor chenille that would look cute on that.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Christmas chenille.
It's that one that's that green, white, and red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would look great. Okay, so this one is the Christmas tree fabric. Well, tomorrow we are going to be talking about licensed fabrics. What did you say, John? Licensed
Licensed to thrill.
to thrill. We've got some Star Wars, we have some Mickey Mouse, we've got a little bit of everything. So we're going to have fun. We come in first thing in the morning, we start getting ready for our 4 o'clock show, so be sure to watch us at 4 tomorrow. Later in the week, we have some new surprises for you that are coming up, so be sure to keep watching for those. If there's something that you would like to see specifically, I hope you'll jot me a note. And I do read every one of the comments, and I personally answer you if you have a question. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing this quarantine time with all of us. Here in Tyler, Texas, we're supposed to be staying put, but the rule says that as long as we're not open to the public, that we can still come in and have fun with you on Facebook. So with our virtual quilt shows, we thank you for joining us, and please stay safe and stay healthy. It's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Have a great evening.